We have a very shaky market on the Pi price action. Look at this very candle. Market is coming all the way to the downside with big candles. And this means a lot. Will this very drop hold at this very point, or we're going to see the market come back down a little bit into this very area? This is very, very important. And if you look at the one-day chart, market is still in a very severe downtrend. Will this market come back all the way to the downside and test this very previous low before the next move to the upside? And for Bitcoin, we see that the market right now is having a slow momentum. Market move all the way from this very point with significant bullish candle, retracement, market move up, retracement, market move up a little bit. What next for the market? Because right now there is a high possibility of market retracing before continuation. So which level are we going to pay attention to for us to take a buy position to the upside? Because I believe market is still going to move upward on the price of Bitcoin. Let's discuss all of these and many more in this very video. So pay attention and watch this video all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the price of Pi. The Pi price action looks very, very interesting. Why? Because this very bear candle is very, very aggressive. As you can look at it, market move down. There is a little support at this very point, and market has broken out of this very support. So the next point is this very area of important interest, because this area is our other block. Market move upward. Market is there right now. Is this market going to pause here? I don't see this market pausing at this very point. I'm expecting a further drop into this very area. So expect the market to drop down a little bit on the price of Pi into this very point of important support right at this very point, or market is going to come into this very other block. 2 points to pay attention to right now: this very area of support or this very area here. Okay, so it's almost at the same point, but there are two different levels, either this very point or this very area. That is where market is going to come into. So I'm still expecting the market to come back down a little bit. Okay, and it will be very nice to take a buy position after this very drop that we are seeing right now on the price of Pi, because if market drop down, okay, and enter into this very point, market is going to begin to move upward, approaching this level of important resistance, or market come back down into this very area, market is going to move upward into this level of resistance as well. So what we need to do right now is to wait for this retracement to end. Then we're going to take a buy position to the upside, approaching this very level of important resistance. And I'm going to give this signal on the Telegram channel. The link in the description. If you want to join right now. The link in the description of this very video, and also in the pinned comment. Join. It is a free channel. So this is what you must have to pay attention to if you want to be in the right direction of the market, which is very important, because everyone always wants to be in the right direction of the market. This is what I am seeing on the price action, and this is what I'm expecting. Expect the market to come back down before the next move, or it will come into this very area before the next move to the upside. This is super important. Pay attention to this, especially if you want to take a trade on the Pi USDT 4-hour chart. If you look at the one-day chart right here, I was talking about the fact that markets have possibility of coming back to the downside and retest this very line of important spike. We have a spike right at this very point. Okay, so market come back down, and then we have a spike right at this very area. So this spike, market have possibility of coming back down, okay, from this very point, retest this very spike, okay, collect liquidity and move all the way to the upside. What I have removed from the table right now is for the market to crash back down and come into this very area where we see the listing price. I'm not expecting the market to come all the way to the downside to the listing price anymore. This was on the table before for me, but as we see this very movement, it means that buyers are now in the market. That means market have possibility of coming back down a little bit before the final move to the upside. And like I always say, don't expect an aggressive move in the price of pi, and don't take pi for a very long time. Okay, if you're investing in pi, you should be looking at 1, 3 months and 6 months. Okay, and that very call that I gave on the channel about that investing on pi was around this very area. Okay, slightly above where the market is right now. Market is still going to move upward, and you're not holding for that very long time. So on pi, you hold your investment for 3 months or 6 months, as the case may be, and don't invest what you can afford to lose. Crypto 101, that is very important. So on the 1 day chart, I am still expecting the market to move upward. Even though we see the market come back down, market is going to move all the way to the upside in the next 3 to 6 months. That is very, very important. And finally, on the Bitcoin price action, because once Bitcoin begin to move upward with significant move, of course, every other coin out there is going to move with it. And if it begin to come down, every other coin, 99% of the coin is going to begin to crash all the way to the downside. That is why the price of Bitcoin is very, very important in all analysis. If you look at it, market move from here with good momentum, because sometimes traders don't look at the way the market move in the market, because momentum is very important, because you must be in the right direction of market momentum. Market move with good momentum, come back down. This was about a 40-50% retracement, and then move up again, create a new high, higher than the previous high at this very point. And then we see this very retracement was about 30-25%. Market move again, market move upward, create a new high at this very point. Right now, market should retrace, and this is very, very important. This is what you need to pay attention to right now. Retracement is very important in the market, and the first point I am expecting retracement to pause is this very area right here, because this very area is an important point of interest on the price action. This very area, market is going to come back into this very point and move upward. And another point of interest as well that market have possibility of coming into is this very point, this point of $80,000 and $79,000. So these are the possible area that you should expect market to retrace to before continuation, because obviously market is still going to move upward. On the 1 day chart, I am very bullish for markets to still continue, especially into this very area of 88 and 89, $90,000 level. So right now, expect retracement to come in, and the market is going to move upward, or we will see retracement come in from here, market come back down into this very area, and the market is going to move upward as well. These are the 2 points you must have to pay attention to on your price action right now, especially if you want to take a long position on futures all the way to the upside. These 2 areas, the first one and the second one right here, is going to make the market to move upward if market come back down and correct into this very area. So what you need to do right now is not to take any position. If you haven't already, wait for the market to come back down before you can take a buy position upward, or the market come into this area, you take a buy position from here all the way to the upside. That is a long position on futures if you know how to trade in the futures market. This is what you need to do right now. And finally, if you come to the 1 day chart, you discover that the 1 day chart is still very, very bullish. Look at it right here. We have a very strong bullish divergence, which I have not talked about before, but there is a bullish divergence on this very chart, as you can see right here. This bullish divergence is very significant with the RSI, that is relative strength index indicator. If you use that indicator to find that out. Another thing is, if you draw this very point right here, this was the highest high, and you draw it with this very line of resistance, you discover that this very resistance have broken out. This is very important, guys. A lot of persons are not paying attention to this. Market broke out of this very resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance at this very point, resistance right here. Market breaks out, and then right now market can retest this very point before the final move to the upside. That is why I am still very bullish on the 1 day chart BTC. market is still going to move upward despite a little correction on the 4-hour chart. And finally, on the Pi mainnet, we've seen just little migration. Look at it right here. The migrated mining reward have increased a little bit, which is equal to the circulating supply right here. From the past 48 hours, there have been migration on the blockchain. The unlocked mining reward have increased, and also the locked mining reward have increased already. So this means there is a new migration on the Pi blockchain, and other transactions are ongoing, as you can see right here on the latest transaction. These are very important, but despite this, I still expect the market to correct a little bit on the 4-hour chart right here into these very levels that have been mentioned of before the market is going to move upward. Pay attention to all of this if you want to be in the right direction of the market. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you have not, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, the link in the description of this very video, and also in the pinned comment for more crypto updates, on-chain and fundamental data. Thanks for watching.